Oh, have we gone on?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all here on this lovely Sunday morning. My name is Minky, and I'm joined here with our layout designer.
Hey, I'm Charlie.
And we're here for the live Q&A for the Black Market Guide to Immortality, our source book expanding on the world of Isung, featuring expanded world building into Pan East Asian mythology, coming out on BaggerKit on September 2nd. Right. So, I figured this would be a good opportunity to kind of give everyone a bit of a sneak preview into what we're kind of working on, what we're kind of hoping to put out. And for the next hour or so, we'll be answering any sort of questions that folks might have. So if you have any questions for us for what's to come, for a little bit about what's inside the book itself, feel free to just type out your questions and we'll try to get to them as quickly as possible. I will cover much of the world building, and Charlie will help out more with the nuts and bolts of the project. Uh, Right. So, as folks know, we have started, Nine Heavens Press has started out with our first project about 2 or so years ago, Undying Corruption, which initially began with uh, with a foray into Korean mythology, with a levels 1 through 20 adventure that focused a good deal on themes of exorcism, featuring featuring lore concerning Budang, aka Korean shamans. Uh, we we Throughout the project, we've had partners that helped expand on the world building, such as Connie Chung and Kappa Chris, who worked on Longshin and the Kyogen Federation, countries based on China and Japan. Well, we offered a bit of a moose bouche at the time, so we're hoping to expand on it more a good deal here with the Black Market Guide to Immortality. And I thought connecting a lot of our country's lore, shared mythologies, faiths, is an interest in themes of immortality, a search for everlasting life. It crops up every so often, and uh, as dove into it a good deal more, we thought there's surely a there's surely a fun world building exercise that we could use to introduce this world with through this project in particular. Charlie has assisted with the layout artists then, and to be quite honest, I don't think we could have made it over the finish line without his help. So I keep saying this, but thank you for all of your hard work. Not just with the layout, but also with helping manage the meta side of things. Like you've really have a lot of hats on.
Yeah, no problem. It's been fun. This is like one of my favorite types of projects to work on, so I really enjoy it.
And I try to make working on this project as easygoing as possible by being open with any sort of deadlines and such, so that none of us are just panicking to try and get over the finish line. Uh, but yeah, I guess that's a little bit about us and generally the black market guide. I introducing the course of the book. You'll see the character of Shin Sulki, who is kind of a bit villain that popped up in Undying Corruption. She was initially under her quote unquote mother, Shin Mi Young as as part of her scheme part of her scheme to achieve divinity as a type of earthly divinity. But now that her mother is gone, and one of the canon endings is that she at least survives, is scrounging up she's scavenging off of the remains of her mother's old cult to sell all the secrets that they've gathered. It's the sort of conceit that that we're running the book off of. But yeah, that's a bit of the basic stuff. I think we can start getting into questions now. Starting with a question from Zombie Fighter 89. Will there be extra cool stuff like stickers and dice? Yes, very much so. As folks know, we've previewed our enamel pin, which, by the way, if you reserve our project for just $1, you can get for free with with any purchase of a reward tier once the project starts. In addition, we have some stickers that we've designed with the help of our various partners. We have a number of other add-ons as well, but largely speaking, we try to keep, given the whole tariff situation, which is ongoing, still very confusing. We wanted to keep, we wanted to think about what we might be able to offer that gets around that as much as possible.
Are you gonna
Like,
mention the
hmm,
oh, I was gonna say, are you gonna mention the minis that we're doing and the special way
y-
we're doing minis to avoid
yeah,
tariff stuff?
yes, of course. So, our good friend Wormworks has worked with us to produce a number of minis that folks can digitally print out. Uh,
3D print.
currently they're
They're
3D
digital
print, yes.
yeah, they're STL files that you can 3D print. Um, but I you can well, I'm not gonna go into the 3D printing stuff. Sorry, I 3D print on the side, so I'm like trying to explain it. But if you have any questions about 3D printing, I can kind of answer them.
Yeah, they're designed to be resin printed, of course. We have sculpted out three different models from creatures back in Undying Corruption. Uh, the Samdugumi, the Chigui, and I think the Kuzunse are all included. Creatures of various different sizes. We're offering the files at $50 per, at the moment, 5 files. However, we have included stretch goals that will add to that. So five is the very minimum that you're getting. But once we knock out some stretch goals, we will add more and more. And folks at higher stretch goals, you'll be able to vote on which monsters you'd like to see sculpted. Uh, you'll be given voting rights. We'll post images of various different monsters, and you can vote for your favorite ones. The ones that win, the ones that get up to the top, however many new additional minis that we choose will be added to the bundle. So that $50 might seem like a bit, but you will be getting your money's worth quite soon. I'm hoping to get up to like 10 or so.
That'd be super cool.
Oh yeah, I'd really like to. Uh, I think there's like a resin printer near where I live. I would really like to get them printed in time. But okay,
You can get
yes,
them printed at like maker spaces and stuff. I'd look up maker spaces. Um, well, anybody that's watching, I'd look up a maker space in your area. Also, if you have like a really large library system, they usually have 3D printers, but they're FDM 3D printers instead of resin. So the quality might vary on those.
Yeah, I could try to get more information from Wormworks to see if there are like any alternatives possible to resin. Resin is just, I think,
Uh,
uh,
it's the FDM printer that's the alternative,
oh yes,
which
yes.
yeah, FDM prints and stuff that's like what Gundams and stuff are made out of, and like bottle
Ooh.
kits. So it's a different type of plastic. It's not resin, but
Yeah, it should work out. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I can answer. I can share a bit of add-ons a bit more later. We certainly do have more in the line of digital stuff that I'm very eager to share. But the next question is by Leilu Leila. Would you say the new source book is evenly divided between Japan, Korea, China, or is one represented more than the others? This is a very good question, and I'll field that one. Uh, so I think inevitably, depending on the sort of inspiration and material that we can find, like for example, the bestiary is kind of uneven already, just because at the moment there are more creatures that I can find on the Korea and Japan side. There's quite a bit that I found for China, uh, but it might not reach the same level. Like we're doing our best, of course, to adapt whatever interesting thing we might be able to find through different mythologies and folk tales and such. There
We're,
might also be a lot. Yeah,
I
yes.
was gonna say we're also. I think some of the stretch goal stuff you had planned involves like cultures within Japan and China and stuff. Like I know we're thinking about doing some Ainu stuff from Japan, which is a completely different culture than Japan since they're the indigenous culture within Japan. So
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, we are planning on doing more, more with cultures that are part of East Asia, but might not have been given the same amount of attention or limelight in popular culture. We already do have consultants for an Ainu consultant and a Mongolian history consultant that can help us inform proceeding along with this that would stay true to people's living cultural heritages. I'm very excited to get into more of that, and we're going to try to give each culture as much attention as possible. But I can't promise that it would all be perfectly even, one to one, depending on which areas. Like I said, the bestiary might not be one to one. There is quite a bit on uh, gods in China, certainly that will likely see that we're a bit more evened out there. It would vary, but uh, outside of that, I do believe Leilu Leila also asks, do you plan to one day to add Mongolian folklore? Which, uh, yes, I believe we've also answered that question here. Uh, yes, we are already working on with a Mongolian consultant. He is a PhD professor whose focus is on Mongolian history, and we've been talking a good deal about generally beliefs in lifestyles and beliefs in Mongolia, not just the Mongol Empire, which has been a topic of great interest, but I think fewer people know about what's happened in Mongolia proper, which is what we're trying to focus on. Tengriism and such will definitely see a place in our world building. Okay, I think we could move on to Noah Foster's question. Are different methods of achieving immortality more common in different regions of the world you've created? Yes, different depending on the region and such, you will see different ways of achieving immortality that are that that are more acceptable based on the context of our specific setting. Like Longshin has a very interesting history with necromancy. Their history, like, it's a bit of a genie out of the bottle situation where people discovered necromancy in the like as one of the gods' gifts that they were planning on saving till later until they figured people were ready, but they kind of discovered as a means of necessity based on the time. Uh, uh, so they're a lot friendlier with it, so they would experiment a good deal more with that, even though generally speaking, there are categories of achieving immortality. The ones that require sacrifice from others is almost universally seen as abominable. It might get you, it might be riskier, it might get you to where you want to go a little bit faster if you do it right, but it will always be abominable in the eyes of others. And uh, in Korea, like, uh, it's under a luminist regime, so a lot of religion and faith practices have been tamped down as it is. Like the cultivators of Longshin that reside in like established temples that have a fairly decent relationship with the people and are also ob- observed, recognized by the eyes of the royal government, might not be so there. However, access to different planes of existences, like the flower fields of Seocheon in in the Korean underworld, has access to stuff like the flowers of immortality, which are components in a type of immortality elixir that can restore the soul. Uh, there are clever ways of using that stuff too. Like you might see a bit of the art that we've got here that projects uh, various people finding different ways to create new bodies for themselves and such. If you're able to like do some reverse like genetic engineering with the flower of immortality, I think a clever enough cultivator can like produce basically a fantasy type cloning factory for themselves to survive off of. So yes, we really do plan on exploring different forms of immortality, depending on where what sources of power basically you're planning on tapping into. Our other, I and another, my partner writer Adam Ma are planning on creating a progression system that in that through a series of milestones, such as accomplishing certain tasks or gaining access to items like the Peaches of Immortality in Longshin's own heavens, uh, would would get you farther up in like years of cultivation. We're really excited to show that off the more once the time comes. But okay, uh, let's see the next question. Zombie Fighter 89 also asks, what did you learn from the first book that helped you with the second? Did you get to dive into something more in this book that you were hoping to in the first? Yes, I would say that Undying Corruption, even though it focuses on Tanguk, but given the scale at which we were hoping to work on, like a whole levels 1 through 20 adventure, there was a lot of ground we could cover, but at the same time, I think we didn't really have much room to focus on just there's a lot of things you could learn just with a narrow focus. I think a broad look is fairly helpful in knowing just generally what is this place all about, and I think we succeeded with that. But now is a good time to focus and give close looks at very at specific aspects of the world that we're trying to create. Uh, especially with like we have mentions of Longshin and the Kyogen Federation, but I'm very excited to get more into like how do these countries how do these countries react with one another? What do they mean to one another in the scheme of not just like geopolitics, but in terms of just the, uh, a sharing of ideas that would later on form their current identities. Like like I already knew going into it that the kingdom of Pekje had a lot of interactions with Japan. I didn't know too much that the Ryukyuan kingdom in Japan had a similar amount of like a lot of back and forth trade with other countries like China that sort of helped shape their a lot of their ancestor worship, a lot of their beliefs and practices. It's very interesting to kind of pinpoint exactly where this stuff happens, so that we can kind of we can explore that and basically present more of what we've learned to readers as we expand our own world. It, uh, but yeah, it's been fun. Uh, Spectre Crumbs asks, will the book bring back the writers for Longshin, the Kyogen Federation, and Tanguk to expand the lore? Yes. I think Connie Chung has Connie Chung has been fairly busy with transplanar stuff. I would certainly like to ask Connie to give the book another look and wh- see just points that are worth expanding on. Uh, Kappa Chris is on to assist with Japan proper, but we have we've asked different writers, different consultants to assist with us, just so that we can try to see what we might have missed. Eh,
Yeah, there was uh, we're doing a little bit of restructuring with the Japan stuff based on some of the consultants that we've gotten for this project.
yeah, yeah, we can talk a little bit about that. It's definitely been a learning experience. As we talk to other people that have different experiences, we've kind of pinpointed areas in which we certainly could have done better. I think, like in the player's guide of Undying Corruption, we opted initially to include the Ainu lands as a part of the Kyogen Federation. But Lunoki, our consultant, rightfully pointed out that that opens up a lot of questions with Japan and the Ainu people, Japan's colonial history against the Ainu people. But there are ways of going about this that I think might be healthier in terms of cultural exploration. Uh, she advised us that during this time, early Edo, Sengoku, I believe the Muromachi period. During then, Japan and the Ainu lands largely kept independent, and they recognized one another's independence at the time. So I I think that what we're planning on doing is we're planning on putting together some retcons uh, to expand and round out our settings or the Kyogen Federation in Longshan a bit more. In our book, you'll get a fuller picture of the lands as we go into more of their histories and basically their relationships with the gods and divinity, which we're really focusing on, since the gods and the divine play a formative role in helping create these lands from inception. Okay, I think that about covers it. Curie asks, what were the inspirations and concepts for both the design and traits and feats of the Huodo, Wozuspan treasure otter folk? Any other ancestries, lineages each of you are excited about? Yeah, so I could speak on the Huodo is a, a mythological creature that exists in China. It has a very interesting history, which I kind of talked about the writer for the for with Yvonne, Sen HHS, who also worked on a number who is currently with Paizo and worked with the Tianxia books. Uh, the the Huodo is an interesting creature. So it's described as a black dog that breathes fire and eats hot coal. Uh, at the same time, though, it's like in terms of the actual mythology, it's based in southern China, which is a very forested land. It doesn't really feel like it should fit together there. Um, uh, it seems like there might be a lot of cultural and historical context that went into that informed the creation of initial creation of the Huodo, as in like mm, some unfortunate racial like people of different people of different parts of China kind of looking at the southern and kind of seeing manners of like associations with black dogs and such. It's a creature of omen, which is why we try to humanize them a bit more. We're going to work a bit more on their aspects as lycanthropes. Not quite werewolves, but yeah, lichens is probably the right word for it, right, Charlie?
Yeah, yeah, like throw archetype.
Shapeshifters.
Yeah, shapeshifter. Shapeshifter's a good one.
Hmm. Uh, but I thought that it was still an interesting concept to try to uh, an interesting concept to delve into. We don't fully get into that aspect. We're kind of mixing and blending inspirations. I like in our setting, they reside more as as travelers of the desert. People who cross the desert, live there, have built a whole society underground, beneath the desert. Uh, uh, it it gave us a bit of an opportunity to just really explore just how big of a country China is. I, I'll be quite honest. I don't think I could truly do Chinese history any manner of justice in just one book. No matter what, I think I could only just scratch a surface, and we could try to do our best to represent that surface in the best way we can. But it's there. China is very diverse regionally. It has it has a very long history, clearly. So we'll we'll be doing our best there to explore what we can in the time that we have.
That's
Anyway,
China seems like something that would be cool for a future book.
yeah, just something that would focus on Longshan. I mean, I think I think at that point we would definitely have to make it a project that's driven by people who are familiar with different aspects of different regions of Chinese history and culture. Just presenting one one experience as representative of the whole just opens up a can of worms. It it's a worthy project, but of course there must be concerns that have to be addressed.
Yeah,
Uh,
for
y-
sure.
the Gozu spawn the Gozu spawn kind of stems off of the Gyuki creature that um, the Gyuki yokai that I thought has been interesting. It's been portrayed as a god in various elements of pop culture that I've seen, and and the aspect of a grudge that continues on, that festers through reincarnation and generationally, is an interesting component I've seen from a lot of Eastern storytelling. And I kind of wanted to explore that with the Gozu spawn. Uh, with the Gozu spawn, the Gozu spawn both embodies and inherits the Kyuki's initial anger at the people that betrayed it when it was once upon a time a mountain or an agricultural god. What an individual Gozu spawn chooses to do with their feelings, how they see the world, how they act it with it, I thought would be a very interesting character exercise for anyone who decides to play as it. Uh, any other ancestries or lineages? Charlie, which which of the ancestries and lineages are you particularly excited about? Just out of curiosity.
Oh man, there's so many. uh, I mean, I feel like by default I gotta say Gozu spawn because I love tiefling so much. Um, but there's some stretch goal stuff that I'm really excited about too. So,
Yeah, like I think what we missed out on with the last book was doing more with the base species slash ancestries slash heritages that you can find in basically the player's guide. But yeah, I guess this is a good opportunity to talk a little bit about these stretch goals that we have planned. Let me pull up that information. But like for example, I think with the Dragonborn. With the Dragonborn, we kind of wanted to do a bit of an expansion there uh, with uh, with an Imugi, like the proto dragon of Korea.
oh, that would be super cool.
Oh yeah, like a Dragonborn that has the capacity to change depending on uh, certain conditions being met. I thought would be interesting. I'm admittedly there's still stuff that I'm still kind of drafting out, trying to perfect so that it isn't too messy on the player's side, but there's a lot of stuff there. For I think the gnomes and halflings, we have we have some interesting plans regarding like our foray into the with Ainu mythology in particular, like the Korpogur, the little people of uh, the little pixie folk in Ainu folk. We also wanted to do something like that
Yeah, that one really excited me because I
as a li-
I was like, I recognize the little guy.
as a lineage or heritage. Yeah, no, it's all been very fun for me personally. I think the Spiritborn has definitely been uh, exciting to me, especially as I did my own research into Korean mythology. I already found this since working on Undying Corruption, but the concept of somebody that was somebody that was born partway dead that has that has weaker like living life force but stronger spiritual power. I mean, it's a half ghost. It conjures up a lot in your imagination there. I think we really hit it out of the park with that as well.
Yeah, the design for that one's crazy cool.
Oh yeah. Shout outs to Zone Man who has just really been something of an MVP just with a lot of the hard work he's been doing with a lot of very intricate designs. I'm super glad to have met him and work with him on this project.
Yeah, he gets really wild and fun with the designs. I'm always really excited to see what he comes up with.
Oh God, yeah. Like I he I you just have to let him loose, and he just comes up with a lot of creative angles that you kind of never really touched. I'll just say that we've shown one of the designs for a creature that we've had to our other partners, and almost consistently they've all said that wow, that is a Final Fantasy final boss or a Persona final boss, one or the other. Okay, let's move on to another question. Spectre Crumbs also asks, from what I've seen on the takes of the four guardians, Vermilion Bird, Azure Dragon, Black Tortoise, White Tiger, they are really interesting. What inspired to go in a furrier anthro direction? Oh, I mean, uh, furry, furry anthro characters are very fun to work with, right? Right, Charlie?
I Yeah, I mean, I think people are cowards if they're not gonna go more in that direction, to be honest, because you can do some really cool design stuff with like furry and anthro characters.
Well, yeah, yes. We wanted to. I think the concept of the four guardians was a good starting point to explore the general concept of the Lokapala, the four heavenly kings, the rulers of each of the four cardinal directions. They exist. They exist in pretty each a lot of East Asian and non-East Asian countries mythologies. So we made them in particular gods that are not bound by any country in particular, but but just general overseers and protectors of those seeking enlightenment, seeking to ascend beyond the boundaries of just moving from one plane of existence to another, just starting up. It's we're leaning very much into Buddhist, kind of a Buddhist pantheon there, which by design won't be limited to a single country, given that to varying degrees. A whole lot of East, a whole lot of countries in Asia do follow Buddhism, and it's hard to say that any one country claims absolute ownership over that. Anyway, I digress. I think. Uh,
Oh, also Spectre, I totally knew you were asking that as a furry. No worries.
oh dear.
From one
But
furry to another.
but yeah, the Vermilion Bird, the Azure Dragon, I mean, the four guardians, they're very evocative symbols. So I thought that using them for the main appearances to encompass those themes of the guardian kings of the guardian kings of enlightenment just is aesthetically striking, really. We've we've inserted a lot of aspects and inspirations from uh, the the uh, the Buddhists for heavenly kings there as well. A number of their names, like I think Jambala, is pretty much just it's more or less one of the other different names for uh, the guardian deity of the north. Okay, okay. So Spectre Crumbs also asks, will the Black Market Guide to Immortality be written diegetically into the world? Written diegetically into the world. I Give, give me a moment opening up my dictionary. I'm sorry. Let's see. Uh, one of the primary texts. Uh, yeah, we're hoping to. I mean, it'll all be. Oh, an item in the world. Oh, I see. Like, will the black market guide? Yeah, yeah. Actually, the contents might not be one to one. But there is a form of the black market guide to immortality that has been made illegal. I mean, it's sort of like in D&D you have what was it? The what was it called again? The really evil evil book. Oh goodness. Uh, well,
Oh yeah, it's kind of like the deck of many
the
things
to-
too.
the Tome of Vile Darkness, and it's well, yeah. I mean, there's a source book called the Tome of the Book of Vile Darkness, and there's another book called the Book of Exalted Deeds, and I think there were actual source books titled that, and there are also items in the setting. So we yeah. It is intended to be sort of like a book, something that exists in the world. Yes. Um, I don't think it'll be much of a magic item per se, although it could certainly be something along the lines of like the Apex items, like Apex item books, where if you read it, if you finish reading it within a certain, and it has to take you a certain amount of time, then you get an ability boost for it. I guess we could do something like that.
Oh yeah, it's like that. I forget the name of the book in Baldur's Gate 3, but if you read it, you get like a spell. If you like get the skill check on it while you're reading it, you get the spell.
Oh yeah, yeah, something along the lines of that would be more of uh, a more of a manageable more of a manageable version of it instead of just flat out giving a stat boost. Anyway, Kitsu asks, which subclass are you looking forward to playing GMing for yourselves and for community responses? Hmm, that's a very good question. Uh, general, Generally speaking, let me see. I gotta kind of refresh myself on the on our ye old list of subclasses. I mean, as you know, a lot of most of our subclasses focus on themes of immortality or even combating immortality in the scope of the Circle of Entropy Druid, or they generally have to do more with survival. Uh, but I think I think the way of transcendence monk has been a very interesting exercise because the way it materializes, I think, isn't really what one thinks of too much when it comes to a monk. Like like y- the ecdysis of imperfections. You're literally using your chi to your key to channel to shed your body into a more perfect form instead of into a form that's more ideal for the circumstances instead of just using them to like empower your fists and such, which you still do just by virtue of being a monk. um, we've received a lot of good feedback just to make sure how best to work that out. uh, i'm I'm largely glad that overall it hasn't been as broken or just non-functional as I as I feared it might be, just conceptually. Just I'm very eager to see how that interacts with like in like a role play setting when you've got somebody that's always changing their shape, changing their potentially changing their conception of the way they present themselves, the way they appear personally to the world around them. There's a lot of role playing stuff just kind of inherent in that. Uh, but the corruption warlock also is also has been something that's kind of been in my pocket for a while that I have really wanted to explore, and this is more in line with achieving power by selling little bits of yourself. I mean, in terms of like XP experience points, you're always going to try to recoup your losses, depending on with what you gain. But uh, the aspect of potentially losing control of yourself, and we'll do a little bit more writing with that just to make sure that I don't know. I guess the GM doesn't entirely just turn on the turn on the party and go for a TPKO. We'll do our best to try to minimize scenarios that could end up like that. I would imagine it would be very frustrating for a party to to have the GM just suddenly dominate person you always. I mean, Jesus. I mean, God knows that's been frustrating for me in the past few days with my Pathfinder game. Ugh. I mean, really, natural oneing. I mean, that crit failing dominate spell in Pathfinder. No good. You just hand your character over to the GM. Just forget about it. Oh God. But yeah, no, it's I've been thinking a lot about. Uh, I've been thinking a lot about how each of these subclasses might appear in the worlds themselves, and I'm always excited. I will be very excited to hear how your experience is playing through them. Definitely send me any details that you've got. uh, all right then. I think so. Yeah, a little bit more about the book, but the ancestries slash species, the subclasses, we're trying to tie them all to the main theme of searching for immortality the best we can, like as byproducts of immortality, as reactions to other people searching for immortality, as products of yourself in the midst of searching for immortality. Uh, but but the bestiary. The bestiary is a bit of an eclectic mix of both that, like in each of the books, we're going to have a little bit of a. I think you suggested that we do a bit of this, Charlie, right? That we have some funny quotes from Sulki that talks a little bit about like if you see this monster, what do you do? What should you know? What do you watch out for
Yeah.
specifically?
Yeah,
How
I thought it would be interesting to kind of have her uh, butt in on different pages and say things about the different monsters and stuff like that. So it's kind of like you get to interact a little bit with the quote unquote author of the book, and it makes it a little bit more unique as a D&D book.
I
That I don't is there a D&D book that does that?
I think Heliana does that. It's there certainly are books that have like an authorial voice. I can kind of think of some stuff perhaps from Hit Point Press, maybe Heckna, depending. A lot of stuff from Hit Point
Yeah,
Press
it's
actually.
like something that I feel like doesn't come up too often, but when it does, it seems like it's fun. I have one book that's not in like the D&D or Pathfinder system that does that, and I was like, I love this. This is hilarious.
Well, Tasha's did it way earlier on too, and I thought people took to that very well. I mean, I had a good laugh just seeing her, just seeing her just butt in with some snark here and there about various different subclasses. uh,
Yeah, and our character, I don't know, kind of like uh buttering up the usage of her in the book is kind of fun and like throughout the campaign.
I think so. Yeah.
Because people get to know her as a character a little more too.
I did tease. Speaking of, actually, a bit of a tangent, but I did tease in our Discord server that I was very much interested in doing a bit of a Q&A with her specifically, and you can drop in questions as your own characters as well. I feel like instead of like, mm, yeah, my role playing might not be as quick and snappy, but I think when the campaign starts, the crowdfunding campaign starts, we're going to have like we're going to start up a period where we receive and answer people's questions as Sulki, just to help keep momentum going. And we'll post whatever question and answer stuff that we get during the updates, which I think and I hope people will be really looking forward to as we meet various different stretch goals and such. Uh, I was talking to Suki's voice actor, yeah, voice actor uh, about voicing some of those response lines. It's like a small nice thing that we can do. Uh, once I can
Yeah, if you
figure out.
got the questions like asked before the stream, you could kind of do that for a couple of them.
Yeah, yeah. I depending on how popular they are, maybe not all of them, but
Yeah.
uh, depending. But it's certainly something that we're eager to do. But yeah. But back to the bestiary. They might not all contribute to the themes of immortality, although you will know when they do, depending on just I mean, one of the things that I've researched is that there are some some folk tales and mythology that talk about cooking and eating monsters like merfolk meat slash ningen meat. Is it ningyo meat? Yes, ningyo meat. Dragon meat. Nine-tailed fox meat is something that I've that I've come across, which I
Hmm.
didn't really I didn't really expect, but yeah, weird ways of achieving immortality, weird tips and such. I thought those little Suki's corners might be a fun exercise to sort of showcase different aspects of creatures besides just how to fight them. Yes, yes, oh dear, indeed. Uh, uh, yeah, but yeah, I think I'd like to share a number of creatures from our bestiary that I kind of wanted to show off here. Uh, yeah, Stella, will we be able to show off the Hakume and the other creatures? Okay, got it. Just making sure. How? Oh, oh, yes, got it.
I was thinking of Dungeon Meshi too during that.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so the Hyakume is an interesting creature in that it resides in the darkness. Specifically, it pops up in a lot of temples and such. It's for whatever reason, it serves as a guardian, and it is very, very merciless against thieves. Anybody trying to steal it, it will plant in you a terrible curse that just uh, that has a whole bunch of eyes open on your body. We we wanted to explore that aspect of it just a little bit, and we would explore a little bit of that aspect in a Sulki's corner. Just what sort of secrets does it in particular know? It in itself might not have a deep connection with the more with like any stories of immortality, but given its given its haunting grounds, it's hard not to say that it doesn't at least guard a lot of those tomes and such. So, like, how would you best get around that creature is uh, is something that I I'm very eager to talk about. A lot of adventure hooks. I'd like to come up with a lot of adventure hooks in the process of that too. We have another creature, the Feng Shi. Uh, so the Feng Shi appears in. Oop, a moment. Yeah, it appears in like further closer towards. I th- it, let's see. There's a god of archery that slays one, I believe, at the command of the Jade Emperor. Rav it was ravaging across the lands and just in a total rage. It's described as a four a gigantic four-tusked boar, and again, given that you needed a god to hunt and slay it, means it's quite the formidable creature. Uh, uh, we we have a bit of a take on it where where the Feng Shi has a symbiotic relationship uh, with with an ooze that a symbiotic a symbiotic ooze that's possessing it, animating its body, making it more durable and uh, more durable than normal uh, as it tramples over the countryside and such in its state of rage. I thought stuff like that, like we could speak on the parasitic, I mean, the symbiotic ooze that it has a relationship with as a component, given that even as the Feng Shi's corpse, even if it itself is lifeless, it is in a state of perpetual motion with the ooze. So there may be key components and ideas for achieving immortality for any sort of enterprising enterprising mage or researcher. Uh, and Suki will, of course, give you a bit of bit of hints and teasers at what that might entail, what you can do to kind of further your experiment. The black market guide is very much kind of maybe not wholly, but it's intended sort of to be a researcher's guide, like somebody looking for a manual and looking for various different ways and means that they can explore that they can explore to achieve their status of immortality. I'd also like to share the Unhul, which is from the Korean slash Tangguk side of our explorations into mythology. How it smells like? Not great. I do not think it would smell all that great. No. Uh,
The boar?
I a combination of mold and dead pig. Not great. But anyway, the Unhol is an example that we have of our continuing exploration into Buddhist mythologies. There are a lot of interesting monsters and gods that appear through through Buddhism. The Unhul is a creature that appeared over in my research into undying corruption that I couldn't really fit into the book. It's described in initial tales of as 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 a it's like it has a ghost story sort of conceit. Like you walk in a forest and you find that there's a statue of the Buddha, a white statue of the Buddha, just out in the wilderness. You go down a different path, and suddenly you see that the statue is getting closer and closer. I thought given that Mara, the the demon lord of desires, it plays a prominent role in our setting book as a kind of a secretive patron, a secretive patron that starts Sulki in writing a lot of these secrets of immortality down and spreading them out. The Given Mara's presence, I thought making more demons and fiends that are associated with Mara might be interesting. So I combined the concepts together. So the Unhul is a sort of demon that appears in the material plane that stalks and tempts specifically followers of Moksha that are Mokshaka that that are just going about their own business, trying to be trying to be a calm, well demeanored person seeking enlightenment, and then suddenly wham, you have the statue of a weird statue of your god chasing after you, and oh no, it's a monster.
I like how
uh
screamy that guy is.
yeah, like we got a lot of we included a lot of what was it? Hellraiser, Cenobite. That's what they're called. The Cenobite vibes with this one. Just with how their flayed flesh is just being pulled at, and with spikes and such. I thought that would be a fitting design notes given the nature of Mara as a god of myriad desires. And Karai, to answer your question, no, not big enough. The fire plate is not big enough for the big boar.
Get a big plate for the big boy.
Oh yes. Uh, well, I guess before we kind of begin to wrap this up, as I just go down a little bit of what people can expect with the crowdfunding itself. Charlie,
Hmm.
did you have a favorite subclass that you looked at while we were kind of working on this?
I really liked the warlock and the bard. I think I like the bard because I really like dead stuff. Um,
Yeah,
but the art for the warlock is just so interesting that I'm like, this guy looks really fun to play, and he comes with a pet. I love pet
yeah.
classes.
Oh, we just got a question. Do we have creatures that work as immortal guardians, such as Shisa, Komainu, Chinese lions, etc., or like gargoyles and grotesques? Uh, by immortal guardians, could I ask for a little bit of clarification on that? Like guardians of various places that are themselves immortal? Well, oh, like stone guardians. Garden guard. Uh, yes. We included in our previous book the I mean, concepts like the stone lions and such, we definitely included in the previous book, or at least the Korean version of it. I I think there is certainly room to explore a bit more of like how to differentiate these creatures despite their similarities in each of the each of the different countries that they appear they appear in. But uh, yeah, to answer your question, generally, yes, we do have various guardians. The Yunhul being basically uh, the anti-guardian, appearing in supposedly sacred places as a supposedly sacred object. But okay, yeah, let's dive in deep with the crowdfunding campaign itself. Okay, so I think Charlie, you mentioned that a number of people over on Meta asked just how we were pricing some of
Oh
our
yeah. On Instagram, on the Instagram ads, we had a couple of questions about pricing, um, and like the page count or what we predict the page count will be. Because I know like with our last campaign, we were like, yeah, it's gonna be 400 pages, and it was over 600 pages by the end of the
uh,
like layout and stuff. So
uh, right. Well, well, I predict it'll be around 250 to 300 pages. I do not think it will be as as many as 600
yeah,
pages. It,
I was like, I don't think this is gonna be a thick boy like the last one. Um,
yeah,
but
yeah,
you know,
but we are, even though we say that we're trying not to be as ambitious with this project, I think we're still doing quite a bit. Uh, but yeah, let's get into a bit of the pledge levels. So the major we're pricing the hardcover book basically at $49. This is the disciple tier. It's the hardcover book plus PDF for $49. That's basically our run-of-the-mill basic. You get your book sort of tier. Uh, Alchemist, I think. Okay, so we're doing, like I said, we're doing a lot with digital content. We're going to put out the Black Market Guide into Roll20 for 5e, uh, and Foundry for PF2e. The Foundry stuff is already in the works. I found that working in Foundry as I write helps me catch a lot of my own stuff as I go along. Uh, I've already mentioned our 3D miniatures. We're also putting together a digital art book that compiles all the art that we did for not just this project, but also Undying Corruption. We want to compile what we can gather, including finished artwork, perhaps some sketches if the artists are okay with sharing them. We're going to compile all of them in a neat book, in a neat curated book, so that people can easily access easily access it in case they want to refer to just specifically the art for like for like tokens and such or what have you, or just
I think the digital page count will definitely be higher than the printed page count on what we're offering.
yeah, like this does get into our talk about tariffs. Like we're trying to be a little more ambitious with the digital stuff in order to avoid people having to pay for physical copies. I definitely want to explore more about on dice because I think we are getting to be a big enough company. We're big boys now. We're big boys. Uh, we're a big enough company where I think it should be feasible to commission a dice design and get them out there. I didn't the last time just because price wise they were a little bit too much. But next time in hopefully better days, digital book. But also we have a supplementary NPC book that we're also working on. Uh, an NPC book which will contain various different important characters, key characters that you can include in your own campaigns and such, that would appear all over the world of Easel. We will be commissioning character art from our various different artists. We will be asking for guests over time to contribute their own NPCs that we would help design, and I I hope with the NPC guide, we will be able to better populate and generally liven up the world, make it more of a living, breathing thing that people can place their unique their own homebrew campaigns in, fully fleshed out. Right, that's the NPC book. We have these stickers. We have the Yuki enamel pin, which, by the way, once again, just for $1 a reservation, you can get it for free. Uh, the prints, we just like before, we're going to include unique illustrations in poster print form that people can order, just like last time. We have a number of unique stickers as well, like our Jiangxi head empty, no thoughts sticker.
I love that one.
Uh, I will. Oh yeah, I will probably use it a lot for just the illustration itself. The Huodo sticker. Uh, we are also we are the Spiritborn sticker. We're also offering reprints of previous stickers that we found to have been pretty popular in the past too. I say all this to help lead up to the various different pledge levels that I'd like to talk about. $89 is the full whole gamut. You get all the digital stuff, including including everything I mentioned, and a unique soundtrack, which, like the STLs, we're hoping to use our stretch goals to add more into, which thank you everyone who have participated in the polls. It gives us a better idea of what we want to aim for, and I'm particularly very excited to commission our composer to get on the theme of the Society of Wailing Souls, which I think will have a bit of a more of that ominous sort of tension vibe that people will be interested in hearing.
I think it's really cool to include a soundtrack for the book too, because it gets you kind of like into the theme and stuff. I don't see too many other books doing that.
Yeah, I've seen a number that have succeeded with them, which I mean, with the whole tariff situation, I thought we could be a bit more ambitious in terms of our digital offerings.
Yeah,
And
it's a really good digital offering.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, uh, yeah, you get all that, and again, like the STL, the OST will be growing. Will be will continue to grow as the campaign also grows. Um, the Sage stuff with the Sage, there's the Sage pledge level after that, where I think that is pretty much you get all the merch, both hardcover. You can choose either 5e or PF2e, by the way, I should say, when it comes to both the PDFs and the hardcovers. You will be given a choice, and we will collect your answers through a backer kit survey so that we can properly link you to your choice of game system.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
the unique part about this project compared to Undying Corruption is we're doing a printed version of the Pathfinder version of the book. Sounds like.
yes, it will be printed. It will be printed from the get-go. That we've made a lot of friends in the Pathfinder community, and I thought, in contrast to the last book, this was a very good opportunity to put out something featuring Pathfinder 2e from the get-go. But yeah, the Sage tier is basically all merch, all books for $159. And past that is where things gets very interesting. Past that is the Paragon tier at $299. This is all merch, all books, uh, and get this. Uh, we will from here on we will include your characters in our book itself. The Paragon tier is that you commission us to draw your character. I will work with you on a commission. Your your character will be included somewhere in the book, just as our thank you for having supported us so generously. The one
And
after that is
oh, and to
is
clarify on
oh yeah,
these upper tiers, the the two printed books that are included are Undying Corruption and Black Market Guide to Immortality. So if you didn't get Undying Corruption in our previous campaign or you haven't bought it yet, that's a good one to get in on.
absolutely. But yes, the Empyrean tier for the 399. You can work with us to design an item that will be included in our list of items. Let's see, the one after that, Deity for 499. Design a monster. You will design a monster with us that will be included in our bestiary. For Nirvana, 599. This will be your. We will work with you to immortalize your character as an NPC in our NPC book with hooks, bonds, flaws. They will be an important character. They will be an important character in whatever various different faction or position that we have in our book that we can discuss with you on how to manage. The recently added Moksha tier, which is our 1,000 $1,299 tier, the big one, is you get to do all of that. It's everything, all books, all PDFs, all merch, and you get four different commissions. We commission your character, you design an item, you design a monster, and we will immortalize your character as an NPC. And and I will personally run a one shot for you and your friends. We will schedule a date and we will run a one shot in that would take place in the world of Isum. Uh, yeah, we'll discuss it as we'll discuss it closer towards the time. But I saw some other projects doing this, and I thought it would be very fun. Oh yes, the Black Market Guide will be 2014 facing, uh, but given that we have seen some interest in people who play specifically 2024, we will put out a conversion guide as well, in addition to any PDF or any hardcover copy that folks get.
Yeah, I got a couple questions on social media about 2014 versus 2024 and what we're using, and it sounded like a lot of people preferred 2014. So
Yes, that's what we got on our in our polling as well. So I haven't really seen much of a need to push away from 2014, admittedly, but in deference to the fact that people do play 2024, not an insignificant amount, we will definitely do some exploration there as well. Anyway, Noah Foster also asked a bit before, are you planning on including any devils in this book? Yes. Yes is our one answer question. We there's a bit of like the one devil that I can think of immediately off the top of my head is the Enlightenment Devil. It is it's in Buddhism. It's based on the Dakshini in Buddhist mythology, which depending on like its Hindu inspirations and and the Buddhist stories that came after that could either be a celestial being or a fiend. Uh, but I thought it would be interesting to explore the fact that the lower planes, or at least a portion of the lower planes, particularly the lawful side, does have a pact with the upper planes, and the number of devils that will pop out to reflect that, where they would be lawful but conceptually be a little bit closer to be neutral. Yes, we will be exploring a bit more of that in our fiends that pop up, in particular devils. Uh, so yes. Uh, right. So we've also signed up with BackerKit. BackerKit is offering a pay over time sort of option. I know that a lot of the back facing the towards latter end reward tiers will be quite expensive. So there will be a monthly payment thing that you can do through backer kits that will kind of help offset that as much as possible. Otherwise, though, the $49 Disciple hardcover Disciple one and our $19 just digital copies will get you our most fundamental product.
And we
Phew.
also have a just a digital bundle as well. So you get like the virtual tabletop kits and the soundtrack along with the PDF books.
Yeah, just anything that you need for the most necessary digital play for VTT and such. Uh, but yeah, no, I'm pretty confident with how this campaign has been going. I should also mention that we have officially hit 2,100 followers on this project in the midst of this stream. uh, we've hit 2,000 just a while ago, and any more from this point on will ensure that we can continue making this book as special and as unique as it can possibly be.
Yeah.
The stretch goals that we have in mind, like I said, would include new contents. We found that through our BackerKit poll that people are particularly interested in world, not just world building, but our ancestry slash heritage slash species collection. We will continue. We will continue to add more there. Like we mentioned, the core poker ancestry is something we have in mind. The treasure otter, as somebody mentioned, is something that we have in mind to be unlocked. Uh, basically, they're basically we want to keep including more stuff if possible. Well,
Yeah, knowing about some of that stuff, it's like, it's so hard not to tell anybody what cool things we have planned.
mhm. So I think if folks don't have any more questions here, I think we could start wrapping up this assignment. I mean, this assignment, this Q&A stream. So, I if you guys haven't already, please do follow our project on BackerKit. Sign up for updates. Do follow our launch party on BackerKit. We launch on September 2nd, and we are hoping for the biggest first day possible. I will live stream once again just on that day for some time just to be there with all of you in the excitement, keep track of our gains, and talk more about the future of our project, our stretch goals and such that we have planned. I'm keeping a lot of it hush hush here so that I still have stuff to talk about come the actual day of. Uh, so thank you all for being here. Please follow us on Nine Heavens Press, follow Charlie, and also on the same day, September 2nd, we will be the Undying Corruption stream that Stella Luna is GMing will host its finale on that evening, on the night of the first day of the campaign. So for the crowdfunding campaign. So
That's
it's
exciting.
yes, it's going to be a very memorial first day inauguration. I hope to see all of you there. Thank you very much for for joining me here, and thank you once again. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Stella Luna, for helping produce this, and I hope everyone has a good Friday, a Sunday.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. It was fun talking to you all.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.